So we need to learn about a way of measuring angles or a measurement called radians. And that's because we use radians in most things involving calculus. We use radians because things turn out well. And so we'll use it a lot in this course. We'll use degrees as well, but we have to know how to do both. So the magnitude of an angle measured in radians is the arc length of the unit circle subtended by the angle in standard position. I'll show you a picture, so if the words bother you, don't, just hang with me here. The measure of the angle is its magnitude together with its sine. So it can be positive or negative, as I mentioned before. And we're measuring the arc length of the unit circle. So how far do you have to travel around the unit circle to get from the initial position to the terminal position? How far are you traveling? That's what it means to subtend. Don't worry about the word subtend. We use that a lot, but it's not something that's all it means is so the arc length of the unit circle is subtended by this angle here. The angle subtended by it means just the angle that it indicates is all that means. So we're going around one time. So that's 360 degrees. Most people know that. But what is it in radians? Well, it's the arc length on the unit circle. This is a radius 1 circle, center at the origin, right? The unit circle. And it's how far you have to travel around here to get from the initial side to the terminal side. So, of course, I went all the way around, so that's the circumference of the circle. It's the arc length. That's how far I'll have to travel to get from here to here, is the circumference. And the circumference is, remember, it's pi radius squared. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's 2 pi radius. A lot of people get those mixed up. Pi radius squared is the area. So it's 2 pi radius. The radius is 1, so it's 2 pi. So all the way around is 2 pi. So 2 pi and 360 degrees are equivalent. And this is positive because we're going in the counterclockwise direction. One time around, as you can see from this arrow. Okay. So I wrote that out here for you, so you can have it on the PDF notes. The circumference of the unit circle is 2 pi r, which is 2 pi. So this theta 1, is 2 pi, and we say it's 2 pi radians. So that's what radians is. You're just measuring how far you travel around this unit circle to get from the initial side to the terminal side. That's the definition of radians. So it's a very natural measurement. So note, although the angle is measured along the unit circle, we usually mark the angle on the inside of the unit circle. So instead of marking, I'm just making this point that instead of marking the angle as this arc length, which is actually what it is, we usually mark it on the inside. That's just kind of traditional. And sometimes we have points out here and we don't want to get them mixed up or cluttered by having some circular arrow going around here. But the angles really, or the measurement, the radians is actually around here. It's how far are we traveling here. Okay, but we mark it on the inside usually. So it's a minor point there. So that's just an illustration of that point. See how it looks a little bit more cluttered? That's why we put it on the inside. Also, sometimes we want to measure more than one angle. And so we can make the circle smaller here, and then the other angle we might make it a little bigger so you can tell the difference between them. If you're marking them on this circle, it would just be a cluttered mess. Okay.